Hello and welcome to lesson 16 of Software Design and Development for Higher Computing Science. Today we are looking at count occurrences. This is the last standard algorithm and it is the last piece of practical work that you need to learn for higher computing science. Everything else in software design and development will be theory. Although it is good to do more practice, more practical, give it a blast. But let's crack on with counting occurrences. So I've got a program here and all it does is it gets data from a text file. That's all it does, and here is the text file. It is the results of a survey after asking 100 people what their favourite food is. So we can see loads of people like burgers, chips, pizza, ice cream, sausage. There's a few other things, but let's find out. Oh, and there's also one dude that likes lettuce. What a freak. So counting occurrences is a way to write a program that will find out how many times something appears in an array. So what we want to do is define a new function, and let's call it count food, and we want to give it all the foods. So we're going to do this as a slightly general function that's going to ask the user for what food they want to find, and then we'll see how we can reuse it multiple times later. So first of all, we need the target. What is it that we're looking for? Well, let's allow the user to select. Enter the food to count. And then what we're going to do, we're going to have a counter that starts at 0. And then for every food in the foods array, if that food equals the target, then we increase our counter by 1. And then at the end, we just return the counter. And it really is as simple as that. So in our main program, we need to have the counter. And we're going to get that by counting food. And we give it all the foods. And then we just need to print something like there were counter people who chose that food. Make this bigger. So let's run this program. And look, this is it. Very quick, very easy. Let's run it. Enter the food to count. Let's choose burger. There were 15 people who chose that food. Let's try again. Ice cream. There were 14 people who chose that. What about chips? So you can see there, 21 people choose chips. Wow, very popular. What about lettuce? There's that weirdo. So you can see that this is working. Now, I mentioned that this is a slightly general program that allows you to choose a food. So it's not like we've specified count pizza or count burgers. But we can do this slightly differently. And we can, let's say we wanted to find the count of 4 different foods. So we're not going to ask the user to choose one food at a time, but let's just program it so it finds 4 foods. But we're going to have to amend this slightly. So instead of having a target here, instead of asking for the target, let's just pass it in as a parameter here. So we're passing in all the foods and we're passing in the target. We're starting the counter at 0 as normal, and then we'll loop through all the food in foods. And if the food that we're looking at currently equals the target, we add 1 to the counter and return the counter. So what we need to do here is, instead of counter in the main program, let's say we want to find all the burgers. How many people voted burgers? Well, in that case, we need to pass in burger as the target. You see, so we've passed in all the foods for the foods, and we've passed in burger as the target. And we can copy and paste this. Copy, paste, paste, paste. Let's do one more. And instead of burgers, let's have pizza. And then chips. And let's do ice cream. So now we're counting 4 different things using one function. This is the real reason you use functions, is that they're reusable. So we've written a program 1 time, but we're using it 4 times here. So this is the beauty of functions. And also, if we find an error in any one of these functions, we know that it happened inside here, and we only need to fix it once. Even though we've used it 4 times, we only need to fix it once. So let's update our message. Let's create a procedure that's going to display the results. Define display results, and we're going to pass in the pizza score, the burger score, the chips score, and the ice cream score. And then we're going to print, here are the results. And we'll have pizza. And we'll add on the pizza score. Now let's run the program and see what happens. Nothing. You know why? Because I made my procedure, but I didn't ask the program to run the procedure. So let's do it. Display results, and we pass in. Now the order is important. Even though in the main program I get in burgers, pizza, chips, and ice cream, in the procedure it's asking pizza, burger, chips, and ice cream. So it needs to be in that order. Now let's just copy and paste this to make sure that it's in the right order and make sure that our variable names match. Here I've used the plural burgers. Let's just change that to burger. So in the main program, I've got a burger variable and I'm passing in a burger variable into the procedure here. Okay, looking good. Let's run it again. Increíble! Isn't that just beautiful? How many people love pizza? My goodness. So there you go. Counting occurrences. It's actually really quite simple once you think about it, once you practice it a wee bit. You just loop through everything, and if you find your target, you add one to the counter. Pretty good, eh? But the best thing I think in this example is that we've used it multiple times, just passing in a different food that we're searching for. Now this function would work regardless of what your target is. If you had a list of names, that'd be fine. You could find how many times a name appears. If you had numbers, you could find how many times that number appears. The data type doesn't matter in a counting occurrence algorithm. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this one, and I'll see you in the next one.